In here, and I'm at Newport Richey Harley Davidson, and I'm about to take for a ride the cheapest motorcycle they have in stock. It's a used motorcycle, of course, but let's take a look at it. This is a 2017 Suzuki Boulevard C50. What that means is, well, it's an 800cc V-twin, water-cooled. Got some nice aftermarket stuff on it. It's got these crash bars, look very good. Cover on the radiator, that's I believe that's a Suzuki accessory, and of course the passenger backrest. Can you tell what this is a copy of? Okay, you give up? Well, it's a copy of Harley Davidson, like a Heritage, something of that nature. But here's the good part: this bike has just 1,700 miles on it, and they're asking $5,400 for it. Well, the first thing I noticed getting on this bike is it's very low to the ground. 5'7", 30-inch inseam. I could flat foot this bike, no problem at all. And we've got speedometer, fuel gauge. Let's start her up. No tack that I could see. But a bike like this, you don't really need a tack. Comfortable seat, and of course it comes with this windshield, which I believe is optional. So you're getting a lot really for $5,500. But let's take it out on the road and see how she rides. Okay, it sounds like somebody's modified the exhaust on it, because it's kind of on the loud side. Usually these bikes you can't even hear them, but it doesn't sound bad. As far as pickup, acceleration, you know, it's an 800. It's not a torque monster, but it's plenty of power for around town. Does have, by the way, floorboards and a heel toe shifter that comes standard. It's got a nice soft ride to it. On these bikes, it's obviously a mid-size motorcycle. They are great for around town. Can you take a long trip on them? You can, but here's the thing with most of the Japanese bikes, and really anything under 1,000 cc's, is once you get up to around 65-70 miles an hour, fifth gear, it's a 5-speed gearbox, you're looking for another gear, and it's just not there. But in order to give it more mid-range power, they're geared so that it's actually a close ratio gearbox, makes it feel like the bike has more torque. But when you get up to highway speeds, like I said, it seems to be turning over a little bit too high in RPM. It doesn't hurt anything, and while power is more than adequate around town, passing power once you get up around 65-70, yeah, it's not the best. But that's just the way these bikes are. Mid-size Japanese bikes with 800cc V-twin. Totally different from 750 or 800cc sport bike motors. Most of those are quite a bit faster, and you don't get that sensation that you need that extra gear. In fact, most of those bikes will have a 6-speed transmission. They may even turn over more revs at highway speeds than this bike, but it's really a totally different feel. Of course, they doesn't have automatic turn signals. If you're used to that, you're going to tend to be leaving your signal light on all the time. That's something you got to watch out for. Yeah, it's got plenty of pickup. Like I said, decently soft ride, almost plush, I'd call it. And it does, of course, have the classic American style Now I'm up in 5th gear, I'm at 60. Yeah, not much pickup left. It will probably do 100 miles an hour. But as far as passing power, not so much on these mid-size Japanese bikes. They do have a reputation for being bulletproof and extremely reliable. But the reason I wanted to take this bike for a ride is because if you want to get into motorcycling, you don't have to spend $25,000. If you're looking for maybe a Harley Davidson, you like the classic heavyweight styling of their motorcycles, but you just can't afford it, or you're not ready for it, this is an alternative. It looks very similar. It will fool a lot of people. A lot of people that aren't into motorcycles would think this is a Harley Davidson, and that's the whole point of why they made this bike in this style. But you can get into this one. They're asking $5,500. I'm betting they'd work a deal with you. If you just got out of a beginner course and you think a 250 is way too small for you, or a size bike that you got in the MSF course felt like a toy, you're probably ready to start with a mid-size motorcycle like this. You can go, depending on what type of riding you plan on doing, as long as it's not cross-country, this bike could probably do you for a couple of years. So if you're interested, head down to Newport Richie Harley Davidson, tell them Motorman sent you, and take this bike out for a ride.